tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, LA Style, and Detour magazines, Joan covered the social set, the Hollywood hotshots, the international art scene, the mysteries of food, the excitement of travel, and the fabulous world of fashion. Joan continues to find creative people on the cutting edge who make things happen. Here's Joan Agajanian Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. Waiting to be profiled is stunt coordinator Dick Ziker and actress Meredith Scott Lynn. Dick Ziker is a stunt coordinator and a second unit director who was inducted into the Stuntman's Hall of Fame in 1990. He won an award for the best vehicular stunt in 1985 and again in 1986. Vehicular. He's worked on TV movies, TV series, and it's included Mannix, Mission Impossible, and Charlie's Angels, and he's worked on so many feature films that I want to reel them off because it was astonishing. Clear and Present Danger, Carlito's Way, The Shadow, Sea of Love, Money Pit, Smokey and the Bandit, and on and on. Can you remember what you did in each one of those?
I actually can, yeah.
You can?
I can, well, basically, the big stunts, obviously, I can remember, like in Carrie, the car roll in Carrie, it's a classic.
Carrie, yeah, well, that was...
And the fire
What did you do? Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, that one, well, it was the first time, actually, that we used a cannon. It's actually just a big tube, iron tube with a telephone pole shoved up in it with 8 ounces of powder, and you push the button when you're going sideways, and the car just flies through the air.
Who's in the car?
Me.
Oh, you are? You're in the car, flying through the air?
Yeah.
That was Carrie.
That was
what about Carlito's Way?
Well, Carlito's Way was mostly just supervisorial. I just was the stunt coordinator on that and put all the stunts together and helped to write the final chase sequence. And
let's talk about what a stuntman does. And what is a stuntman?
Well, the stuntman takes the place of the actors for all the dangerous things. Obviously, you can't put an actor in a dangerous spot. Your producers and the insurance company would die.
You can't roll them over in cars?
Not unless you don't like them. No, it's, the stuntman obviously takes the knocks. That's why, he's there to do the hard stuff. The actors get to kiss the girls and do the nice stuff.
I see. What about a stunt coordinator?
Well, basically what happens is I'm just the person that the producer hires. I get the script, I read it, I break it down, figure out how the stunts are going to be done, hire the people to do them or do them myself.
You get the stunts. You also, when you're stunt coordinator, do your own, you do some of the stunts yourself?
Yeah, on every big feature or every big show, I like to try to do at least one big stunt just to keep my hand in, so to speak.
Keep the danger there?
Oh yeah, the excitement.
What about a second unit director? What is that?
What happens is the second unit director on big features, the director will be out with the actors doing the dialogue and the easy stuff, and the second unit director will be out doing the stunts away from the first unit. We may be in another state.
Oh, you do? You do actually do stunts on your second unit?
Oh, sure, yeah. That's where most of the stunts are done on second units.
Oh, and then they just edit it all together?
Then they bring it all together, sure.
I never knew that, Dick. So when you're in Denver doing something and they're on they could be on the set?
They'll be on the stage at Warner Brothers, and I'll be in Denver, and we'll be on the new Steven Seagal movie I'm just doing right now in Dark Territory. We'll be in Denver doing the stunts on the train there, and then we'll come back and splice that together with the action we're doing on the stage at Warner Brothers.
What about, you talk about the train. Have you done a lot of train action things?
Well, I've done about as much as anybody else, I guess. I worked on Silver Streak. I did the entire movie, The Great Train Robbery with Sean Connery, and I was in Ireland for 6 months on that one.
Well, does it matter where the trains are? I guess you have to go to where the trains are.
You have to go where you can use the track, obviously.
Is that why Denver is?
Yeah, but we're going to use the Amtrak track up there, and it's also the location. It's a very dangerous location.
Now, we talked about your awards for vehicular. Could that be a bus, a plane? What could it be?
Anything on wheels, vehicular, anything, not a plane, but anything with wheels on it. Motorcycles, cars, buses, trucks.
How do they judge something like that to give you the best stunt?
I don't know.
I mean, do they run a lot of film?
No, I mean, all of the good stunts are obviously are submitted for the honor, and then they have a jury of your peers with producers, cinematographers, other stuntmen.
Is this one?
This is one of the ones.
Is this from?
That was from the TV show Vegas. That was a total 360-degree roll from one ramp, hitting a car, blown on fire. Then I hit another car. This car over here, I hit this, and it then blew on fire. It was very good.
It was very good.
I like that one. Yeah.
And you got an award for that.
Yeah, that was one of the awards.
Now, how do you get this car on fire as you start?
Well, you have bombs that are wrapped up inside of there with igniters and things, and you have your hand on a button, and the first flame is ignited by a special effects man off the side. He sees when you hit that ramp. Then when you're in the air, while you're going over, you hit another button.
You do that?
Yeah, you do that yourself. That blows up. Then when you hit the other car, you make sure your very best friend in the world has his hand on that button to make sure that he doesn't blow it off in your face.
So there's a lot of timing involved.
Sure.
How many takes?
One.
Not one.
Just one, oh yeah. Well, right there, you totally blow away 3 cars, and they can't afford much.
And then it's always shocking, because I remember years ago you brought me a photograph of yourself on fire.
Yeah.
And it was like the first stunt of a man totally on fire.
Well, no, it wasn't the first, but I think it was the longest burn.
Is that the longest burn?
Yeah, I think we have that queued up here somewhere.
Oh, we do? We have it?
I think we do.
Let's see some of this. What do we have? What are we going to see?
This is the burn from Westworld, the Michael Crichton film with Yul Brynner, and it's where I'm doubling Yul Brynner, and he's a robot, so I can burn, literally forever. When you're doubling a human being on fire, you can't actually burn that long and make it look realistic, because human
burn, boom,
yeah, robot burn, dance, burn,
and that's what we're going to see.
I think we have that queued up.
Okay, good.
Almost to a minute. It was one of the longest burns ever done. They coat me with rubber cement, which is very flammable, and it burns the very, very intense red and orange flame. They paint you just the second before, literally 15 seconds before they set you on fire. In those days, we didn't have fire.
I can't laugh about this. These are really serious stunts. Do you go to a stunt school to learn these?
No, just a school of hard knocks. It's things that you learn over a period of time. I've been doing this for 32 years.
I know, but how do you get into it? How did you get into it?
Well, you kind of just fall into it, Joan.
No, you can't fall into it. Were you a motorcycle driver? Were you a race car driver?
Well, no, I was a downhill racer, skier, and high diver, and I raced motorcycles. And
did you do that professionally or just for fun?
No, I was born and raised in Wyoming. You have to do that there just to exist. It's so boring. No, but it's
beautiful.
It's beautiful,
and
but
so
boring.
You need to skydive over all that stuff,
You
right?
have to do things like that.
But that's how it happens, and then
truly,
you find a way that you're going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'm getting paid to be a kid. Although I'm no longer a kid, but I enjoy my work as though I was a child. It's so great. It's so invigorating. Every time I'm going to do a stunt, it scares the devil out of me. So then the adrenaline, is flowing, and then after it's over, it's great. It's fantastic.
And you did it again.
Yeah, I made it.
You did it again.
And better and higher and hotter, and you're always looking to better the last stunt, which can be troublesome.
We have another short clip of. Tell us what it is.
Oh, this is just kind of a funny little thing. We're on a movie where. The movie was Dutch, and the kid was mad at his stepfather, so he takes his brand new Lincoln and drives it out in front of a truck roaring down. So I'm driving this truck about 60 miles an hour and hit an absolute brand new Lincoln. I think it had 10 miles on it.
You're driving the truck?
I'm driving the truck.
Okay.
And there's nobody in the car.
Let's see that.
It was a little town about 90 miles above Chicago. It was about 50 degrees below zero. It was so freezing, so cold, middle of the night. But after it was over with, once again, it was great fun.
Now, I know you worked with Sean Penn and Al Pacino in New York when you were doing Carlito's Way, because I was there, and I was kind of like actually trailing along behind you.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see any of the stunts, but do they ever want to do their own stunts? I mean, would Al Pacino want to do his own stunts?
No, Al is
No?
no. He's a consummate artist. I mean, he knows that if he injures himself any way, that he can't give the performance. Sean is a tough kid. I mean, he could do his own stunts. I mean, but he knows that he's also taken someone's living away from him too. So it's,
that's that's
sure.
the difference too. I see.
and they're it's not smart to do your own stunts.
Do they hype you? Do they get like
Oh.
real exciting? Or go Ziker?
Well, they're happy when it's over and they looked good. That's part of the deal. That's a great thing.
Do you use very many women when you're stunt coordinating?
Well, sure. Whenever there's a woman to be doubled, you have to use a woman to double them. And I like to try to use women in nondescript stunts. Just
Try to use them all the
minorities. I mean,
time?
I like to try to use everybody in the business that's there. I mean, they're trying to make a living also.
Do you have any favorite directors that you work with?
Well, I just worked with Philip Noyce on Clear and Present Danger, the Harrison Ford movie, and he's really interesting. And I loved working with Michael Crichton when he was directing. Brian De Palma's a very interesting man to work with. Very demanding, but very, very interesting. He really, really knows the business.
And I know you work a lot with Marty Bregman.
Oh, well, Marty's the producer. He's the best.
Oh, he's a producer.
He's one of the great all-time producers.
Who tells you what to do or asks you how to do it?
Well, actually, when they hire me, they ask me how to do it. They don't tell me how to do it. They
No,
tell me.
but they tell you what-
They tell me how they would like the stunt to look, and then
I
I
see.
arrange that it's done the way they want it to be done.
And you don't have to go to school to learn. I think one of the great stories before we have to leave is when you were doing that helicopter jump. I think you tell the story.
Oh, the one
Tell that.
Scarface.
Tell that story. Yeah, that's a great story.
You mean when I'm going to jump out of the plane, the helicopter with a rope around my neck,
Right.
and the prop man said, "What? I don't want to tie your hands up in case anything goes wrong." I said, "Well, God, I'm 400 feet in the air anyhow. If anything goes wrong, you think I'm going to do a dive?" No. That was hilarious.
I think the end of that story is they always say, "Oh, no film, Ziker, do it again."
Well, in that case, I love it because you get paid by the stunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
you would jump again
Oh,
from the
sure.
airplane?
Oh, sure.
I think when you came away, nobody knows how damaging it is to your body and
Meredith.
how difficult these stunts are, because it just looks like you do it and you're off. But I know you've talked about being black and blue
Oh.
from head to toe.
Sure.
And what other injuries have you had?
Well, luckily, I guess maybe it has something to do with skill. I hope, but I've only been injured a few times. I've only been in 32 years. I've been injured 3 times, and one a broken leg, a broken back.
A broken back?
Little things like
Little
that.
things. One wonderful thing that I noticed on your bio is you're now a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
Yes,
That's a very big thing.
Oh, it is. It's there's only 5 other stuntmen in the academy, so it's really a prestigious thing. It's an honorable thing.
Are there certain qualifications if it took 32 years,
Yeah.
30 years?
Well, I mean, they want people in there that they feel have honored their profession, I guess, and that's why I feel great about it.
Well, we have enjoyed talking to you so much today, and I thank you, Dick Ziker, for coming on, because you're going to be going out and adding to that long list of films that you've done. Thanks for being with us. And don't go away, because waiting to be profiled is actress Meredith Scott Lynn. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and I'm back with Meredith Scott Lynn, an actress. She was born in Brooklyn, followed her career to Hollywood, where she worked in ABC's The Marshall Chronicles. She did some TV pilots, a movie for HBO, and she had a co-starring role opposite Dudley Moore and Harvey Fierstein in CBS's Daddy's Girl. And she said that she would never be called a bi-coastal person. Why?
Oh, I can't believe they told you that, and now you're asking me. Bi-coastal, it's just, it's the whole beeper cellular phone phenomenon that I just can't get into. And because I live here when I'm here, and I live there when I'm there, and I live wherever I'm at, I I try to live right there. So bi-coastal, I don't know. I'm
But
a New
you live-
Yorker.
Oh, you're a New Yorker?
New Yorkers don't use the bi-coastal
I know, it is a little corny.
You know?
You're right. I talked to you before, and everything I said, you said
Bi-coastal.
was pretty corny.
I didn't say you were corny. Thanks, Joan.
But really, you went to school in New York.
I went to the high school. I grew up in Brooklyn and Queens, and then I said, Mommy, you know, I want to go to the Fame School. And she said, okay, go to the Fame School.
Did
And
she? Did you?
She didn't think you know, who gets into the Fame School?
Right.
At that time, it was the Fame School. So I got in, and
How'd you get in? What did you do?
I did.
Were you
I did
acting
the most
or
bizarre-
dancing or?
I was an actress, and I did 2 monologues. One that everyone did from the Diary of Anne Frank. You know, I'm trying, really I am, and all these girls are weeping. And then I did a Captain Hook monologue from Peter Pan, which I think got it. And then you go through all this stuff, and you do the monologue as a monkey floating in Jello. You know, whatever they ask you to do. You're a monkey. You're in strawberry Jello. You know, no, blueberry Jello, and then you have to do it. So whatever, I got in, and that was the
How old
most
were you?
amazing. I was 15.
So you could
was
just do
15.
anything. I mean, you felt pretty much like you could do
You feel
it.
bizarre, but there's 15 other people in the room feeling just as bizarre as you are. So you just, well, you know, and if you want to go, you got to do it.
And if it's the competition that keeps you moving, huh?
Right. Yeah, well, you know, boy, I had, you know, I'm sorry. I had like $2-3 million worth of theatrical education and training at a great school. And it's very amazing to be in a school with 2,600 people. Every single person had a passion and an art and a creative outlet. It was amazing. No one didn't know what they were doing every day.
But also, and then to think that that many people in a school are going to go out into this field and do
amazing.
something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your competition. It gets
Yeah.
stronger and stronger, doesn't
Amazing. Yeah, a lot of them are musicians and dancers and other things,
But
but
still.
within the theater department, we have a lot of, you know, successes.
it? And then what career move brought you to Hollywood?
Okay, well, I think a friend of mine had a headshot, and I had never seen one, and I really think I thought TV was just real families and cameras went in there. I didn't know what TV was. I didn't know that actors can go and audition for them till I was, I swear to God, like 14 years old. And he had a picture, and I went and had these pictures taken. I had like no hair, if you could believe this. I had really short hair. I talked like this, right? I was right out of Brooklyn and Queens, so I had this really bad accent, no chest, and a really deep voice, so I was destined for nothing. And so basically, I ended up with a job opposite Cheech Marin in a pilot to play this Puerto Rican girl, before Rosie Perez was around, I guess. You know, so I had to take all this Spanish, and I was walking around talking like that. And then Cheech met me and kind of freaked out because I wasn't Spanish. So that brought me to LA. That got me a little bit connected. And then I moved out here. When I graduated high school, I applied to one college because I have a whole bunch of thoughts and theories on our system. And I wanted to go to this one school. And if I didn't get in, I was going to come here and work. And I did. I came out with $3,000. And I said, I'm not working. And when this $3,000's up, I'm back, I guess. And
So you came out
and I got a
alone?
pilot. I came out with a friend who left me after 4 days. He said, I can't handle it. I'm going back to New York. And there I was in LA, which if you don't know anybody
tough.
here, it's a bizarre place. And everything just went boom, 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 boom. It fell into place, and I got the Marshall Chronicles, and, you know, thank God.
And there you were.
There it is.
And then I thought you were going to say, when you were talking about with the Rosie Perez,
Yeah.
that Rosie Perez heard you and she started talking like you.
Oh, that's right. Rosie Perez, she's a nice Jewish girl from the Lower East Side, and all of a sudden, she does this Puerto Rican thing, and she's huge. I did it first.
So there, you
No,
did
I
it
love
first.
her.
She's great.
Right. And, you know,
But have you used that accent?
I have not professionally, because unfortunately, it sounds just like her, and so people go, "Oh, is that your Rosie Perez?" And I didn't mean for it to be, but I have a piece that I do that I rewrote and transferred into a Puerto Rican accent, and so I have fun with it. But no, I you know,
Do you do stand-up comedy?
I don't.
Are you a
I know I
comedian?
should. I should do it, and people tell me to do it. I'm not a writer. I have very little faith in my writing
So that's
abilities.
the point.
Yeah.
You can't go back and start
Right.
talking
I
about
write a great letter, but I could never
What if somebody
formulate
writes
like a
it
piece.
for you?
I would do it. You want
You
to
would
write me a show?
I will. Stand up?
I would do it. I'm that to me is just such a nightmare. You know, to get in front of a room. I could do anything in front of 400 people, but like 40, that's a tough one.
I asked a person who did a one-person show, I said, why does an actor want to get on stage for 2 hours by themselves and carry on? And she said, you're not an actress, otherwise you would be dying to have the whole stage to yourself.
And you would, but it's, I don't know, God, what if you're not funny? What if it doesn't work? You're in trouble. And I just wanted to tell you, the Dudley Moore Harvey Fierstein project is going on now. It's a series, so that's still happening now on CBS.
That'll continue to happen. You came and did a feature film, The Girl in the Watermelon.
Yep. I did that in New York last year.
Oh, you did it in New York?
I left LA for a year.
Well, how did that feel compared to doing so much television and then doing
weird.
a film? Was it the same?
No, nothing alike. In fact, I really love television if it's good, and I'm a responsible person, so I care about the roles I choose. So if it's a good project, I'm into it. And God, it's like doing a play a week. You get a script and you rehearse all week and you do a show for a live audience. There's a fix and you can feel them appreciating you and you appreciate them, and it's this exchange, and then you go have a good weekend and you come back. And in movies, God, it's such an arduous process. God bless it. The only payoff with a movie is the screening when you see it. There's no payoff, so you do the same scene 50 times from different angles, and it's hot. We did it in August in an unair-conditioned house in Brooklyn. So it was a nightmare, but it was amazing and fun because look what we got, I guess it's like labor.
But that wasn't, that wasn't the end of your film career, because then you worked with Gregory Hines.
Right. I actually did Gregory Hines, shot that, and the day I finished with that, I started The Girl in the Watermelon.
Oh, so they were both at the same time. You did 2 films.
It was amazing.
How was it working with Gregory Hines?
He's amazing.
What did he do? Was he producing it, directing it?
He was the director. The executive producer was actually the lead actor. His name is Mark Jacobs, and it was a great story. It's very controversial, and so I think that they're having a hard time finding a distributor because it's all about, sex and black people and drugs. And so,
White Man's Burden.
Yeah, The White Man's Burden is
the title of it.
Right.
And what is it?
The White Man's Burden is a 16-year-old black girl who gets pregnant by this white man who pretends to be everything but what he is, which is, a white man. And when you're a white man, you're sort of above everything.
And you play the girl?
I play the sister. I play Elliot Gould's daughter and the sister of the white man. Right, I'm the white man's sister.
You play the sister of the white man.
I make his life hell. I'm a miserable, horrible Upper East Side nightmare.
Can you do that?
Can I be that?
Yes.
Sure, if I have to be that. It was my first time. It was the first time I ever played kind of a nasty person. It was fun.
You've done a lot of theater too. I mean, we talked about saying in front of 40 people, but sometimes that's all your audience is 40 people.
Right, but you know what? The lights are on. It's so dark. There could be 400 or 2, and I would never know. And that's what I need, the fourth wall kind of thing. But I went to New York.
That was a great play, The Fourth Wall.
The Fourth Wall.
Yeah, like it's always there.
That's it. Wouldn't that be great if we just built a wall up and no one could see the play?
That was it.
I went to New York and I said, all I want to do is I want to play. Because I couldn't afford class at the time, and I just said, because I make money and then I go off and I travel the world and I blow it all. And I said, I want to play, and I got the lead in an off-Broadway play in New York, and it was the most amazing experience of my life. In the theater. It was great. But here, there hasn't been a whole lot of opportunity for me to do theater. I've done one project, but your agents don't want you to do it right.
But I think the theater in LA is great, and you see more and more show business people here going to small theaters and participating in them, and also using them as sounding grounds for going back.
When it's easier is when you're working and you have a little bit of money and you can afford to just take the time to do that, but otherwise, I was waiting tables up until like 2 months ago.
Yay, were
Thank you very much. I was. I'm a damn good waitress, Joan.
Good for you. Now, if you had to choose between film, TV, or theater.
Had to choose? Someone said this is it? You can only do one?
What would you do?
Oh, God.
No, not if you had to choose. Is killing me
one of the options?
No, not if you had to choose. What do you like best?
The stage,
the stage.
I mean, boy, God, if I can make the money on the stage that I make on TV, I would just lock myself in the best theater in town. It's the best. It's the fix. It's what, God, it's live.
We have a TV clip of you. Is it a TV clip?
It's a TV clip.
Tell us what it is.
Okay, basically what it is like 2 years ago, because unfortunately I don't have anything recent. I'm not allowed to give it to you yet. I did a little ditty on a TV show called Herman's Head.
So let's see it.
Yeah,
Let's see it.
I'm a lunatic. In it,
Herman's
so,
Head,
yeah.
Meredith Scott Lynn.
Helene, meet Herman.
Hi, Herman. I'm Helene.
Hi.
Of course, you already know that because Louise just told you. Maybe I should just shut up now already. What do you think?
Well, I think it's very
I know.
nice.
You know what? I get really hyper when I'm nervous, which I am now, right? Like you couldn't tell. Okay, anyway, answer to your question is yes.
Helene, I didn't ask you a question yet.
Okay, good point. Ask me a question.
What was your last?
12! Oh, I jumped the gun again, didn't I? Well, was I close?
Not really. Why don't you just try to relax a little?
Relax. Relax. If it were only that easy. Well, okay, if my being relaxed will get me this job, I promise you I'll have my prescription refilled. I have to be careful, though, because last time I got too relaxed, I had to have my stomach pumped.
Well,
Are you always that crazy?
I'm a lunatic.
Have you settled into life, or are you out endlessly partying?
I am not a party person, actually, at all.
I don't
I'm not a
believe
party
that.
person. I swear to God, I'm a wild, fun, light-filled kind of lunatic, but I don't party. Cigarettes make me crazy, as anyone who knows me will tell you. I'm one of those bad non-smokers.
Good for
I don't
you.
smoke. I don't do anything. I bite my nails. I eat Fruity Pebbles. That's all I do.
And you have a favorite actor?
A favorite actor. I don't have a favorite actor.
Okay.
I'm a
let's
huge fan of, I think Woody Allen's a genius. I love Woody despite, look, let him, whatever he does, he's a sicko. But we're all sickos. I love Woody Allen. I love Diane Keaton. Oh, God, there's so many great actors. I don't even know what to say.
Well, we
you know?
can't wait to see you up in the headlines in the
Thank
next
you.
Woody Allen movie.
Oh, you know what?
Yes.
When he sees my show, I'm going
You're
to be in a
in.
Woody Allen film one day. I aspire to that.
we'll look for you there.
Okay, good. So watch the show.
Meredith Scott Lynn.
Yeah.
Thanks for being
You're welcome,
with us.
Joan. Can I have a rug?
Oh, sure. Kathleen Spiegelman would
Carpets are
love.
fabulous.
Kathleen Spiegelman brings these Kilims in every week. She'd
Really?
love to give you one, I'm sure.
Good, I'll take it.
And we want to thank all of you for being here today. And keep writing to us, and we'll see you next time on the Joan Quinn Profiles.
Bye.